What's happening? Hope you like the new look. Alright everybody, all jokes aside, welcome back, it's Adam. And today I'm going to be reviewing the Vue glasses. They were awesome enough to reach out to me to get my thoughts on these. And they probably have seen that I'm really passionate about audio glasses. And with more and more of this technology coming out, it's really cool to see what companies are doing to not only compete with each other, because that's the best way we win as consumers and people who are tech enthusiasts. And you want to see how these really benefit your everyday life. So this is probably one of my favorite pieces of tech, period, is audio smart glasses or smart audio glasses or however you want to say. So again, thanks to Vue Glasses for reaching out to me and providing these for review. I'll have a link in the description down below. Let's get into the review. I hope this helps, and thanks for watching ahead of time. So of course, for starters, I want to go over the tech specs of these and really what they have to offer and what model these are exactly. So these are the Lyra model. I got them in photochromic, and that's an additional $100 from the retail price of $179 that these come in with standard lenses. If you want to get blue light filtering lenses, that's $80 plus, and you can get them prescribed. So of course I did get them prescribed with the photochromic lenses. And the main reason why I was intrigued by photochromic is because for one, this is the first time I heard about these types of lenses, and other companies I'm starting to be aware have it as well. But basically, indoors and when sun is not hitting your lenses, they stay clear, but they transition to sunglasses when you are out in the sun. Now, when I was driving around in my car and sunlight wasn't directly hitting the lenses, they wouldn't transition. So if it's a really bright day outside, unless the sun's hitting your face, they're not going to transition. So take that for what it's worth, but I think it's awesome tech, especially for when I go into this review about the lifestyle benefits of wearing something like this. I really loved it, and it's really hard. Blue light filtering lenses are probably the only thing that can compete, but again, for different lifestyle reasons. And now going into the other tech specs, they do have Bluetooth 5.0, they have touch controls, they have noise canceling microphones. You can access Google, Alexa, or Siri for the voice assistant. And the battery life is 20 hours of standby, so pretty much one full day. It takes an hour to charge them to full from dead. 4 hours of continuous playback, and the cables are magnetic for the charging. And like I said, you can switch out all the lenses and things like that. And they're also IPX5 water resistant. Now I can get nerdy with this and talk to you about how the touch controls work and this and that. But first, I want to say what's the main benefit of getting Vue glasses in my experience with these in particular. I would say the main benefit is these are really great for working at home. And yes, I did go for walks and I went for hikes and I drove around with them. I did a lot of activities with them. I've even worked out in them just to really see like, hey, like if I get them prescribed and I want these to be my all-day glasses, what are they like? And that's the best way I can put it, namely because of the 4-hour battery. It's pretty much spot on with that time frame. But getting work done with how good the microphones are, and we will get into our microphone test here in a second, that's another reason why too, is the microphones are probably its strongest point and the best thing about these, even over the speaker quality. So with that said, let's get into our microphone test right now. Alright, so it's pretty loud in here. I would say maybe 75 decibels. And I'm talking a little bit louder than normal just to make sure the mics pick up my voice to some degree. Alright, so since I mentioned these are good for working from home, I'm going to open up my dryer and close it right now. And I'm going to run some water and just kind of do stuff that's a little bit different than just the quiet office. All right, now that you heard the microphone test, what do I think about it compared to the competition? So I would say Amazon Echo frames are number one. These compete with Bose, and the worst ones I've heard with microphone call quality was the Razer Onzus, in my opinion, because it sounded a little too artificial. So for these to be in that tier, I thought it was pretty good in my opinion, but let me know your thoughts in the comments below on if you think these would be good enough for working from home, let alone in a coffee shop. All right, now moving on to the sound. And I know that's probably the most important thing for a lot of people, but this is just my experience with what I thought about these for lifestyle. The sound quality is good enough for going on walks and obviously working from home, but with one caveat, and that is the volume level is just really limited. And I think it's because, and I'm not trying to make fun of the name, but they're called the Vue Lite frames. And they are kind of light because of how thin they are. the speakers aren't compared to like the Bose frame Tempos, which are the best sounding audio glasses I've ever heard. Now, yeah, I have to test out the Ray-Ban Stories, but for me, they're just right in the middle of, okay, they're a little bit less in volume than the Amazon Echo frames. Because with those, my biggest issue was I had them at 100 when I rode my bike and when I went for walks because of all the ambient noise. That's pretty much the same sound quality as these. So for these being cheaper than the Echo frames, but the sound quality pretty much being the same, I would still say they did good. Just kind of given that comparison with what the competition has to offer. There's clarity in music. They sounded best with phone calls. I don't know what's going on here, but when I would make phone calls, people's voices just sounded louder than when I listened to music. So when it comes to podcasts and audiobooks, that's where they shine the best. That's just the way it is with audio glasses. And that's why it goes back to these are great for working from home and doing business stuff more than I think being active, going on a massive bike ride and mountain climbing and this and that. I just don't, these aren't it. These are great for working from home. All right, I'm gonna get a little close here to kind of show you the touch panels, and I will have some B-roll here too on the frames. Now, what do I think about the controls? The controls are a little too simple. I wish there was maybe like a volume slider or something like that, but basically on either side, you double tap to answer or end a call, and you double tap to play or pause your music. There's no skipping tracks or going previous or anything like that, which is kind of a disappointment. And then also when it comes to long pressing for 3 seconds, you access your voice assistant, and that's how you reject the incoming call. It's long pressing for 3 seconds. It's very accurate, and that's what I was pleased with, is every time I would touch it on either side, it works seamlessly. I just kind of wish they added skipping tracks or maybe a volume. I kind of would take an app if they would develop an app for you to adjust those controls. So the functionality is there in performance, just not variety, if that makes sense. So in other words, there's a lot of potential with it, is basically what I'm trying to say. So hopefully they see this and they can capitalize on making an app or kind of coming out with updated frames, and hopefully those have those features built in because it would make them that much more worthwhile. And of course, there's the design to talk about. So what do I think about the design of these frames? I love the look of them. I love the color of them. But if you can kind of hear that squeakiness, they remind me of the Amazon Echo frames, where they feel like for the price, you should be getting something that you feel more confident about. If you accidentally sat on them, will they break? I feel like if I sat on these, they'd break pretty easy, man. I have regular glasses from like Warby Parker and this and that don't feel that way for much cheaper. Yeah, they're audio glasses, but I would say Bose has probably the best well-built audio glasses, where they even got the matte finish and the hinges just snap into place so well. I feel like I can step on those and they wouldn't break. So for the price, I think there's better competition out there build quality wise. Hopefully they do better next time. But I just wouldn't really do strenuous activities. I wouldn't count on being really active with these or setting them down on and off without putting them in the case when you're done using them for the day kind of stuff. So just be cautious of that. I kind of am a little bit bummed because I do like the design. I just feel like the build quality is a little bit on the cheaper end. I mean, yes, they are IPX5 sweat and water resistant, so not saying you shouldn't do any workouts in them. I mean, I did plenty of kettlebell workouts, weighted jump rope, going on walks and going on hikes, sweated in them pretty good, still work like new. Now, with that being said, would I recommend these? The best way I could recommend them is only if you're gonna get them for working from home. I really don't think there's any benefit if you are in a super loud office area, and I mean really loud, like coffee shop level loud. Or if you're going to do a lot of adventuring with them, like going on bike rides or anything like that. Just stuff where there's going to be a lot of ambient noise. And that sounds funny, but with the Bose frame, the Tempo frames, those are loud enough to where I went on bike rides and I was really impressed with the volume. But again, those are built for that. They purposely built them all massive for that. These are small enough and good enough for working from home to be on even conference calls or phone calls. And you work from home and like you're doing dishes in between, or maybe you're like me and you go out in the garden on breaks or a quick walk kind of stuff. But nothing about that. If you really go into loud environments or are in coffee shops a lot with them, I mean, it's the volume level that gets me. And yeah, the microphone sounded good in a coffee shop, but it's because of the functionality of just not having to wear your normal glasses, but you want to do work business calls and stuff like that with a pair of audio glasses. So that's my number one recommendation. I should have got the blue light filtering lenses instead of these. I was more so looking at them as adventure type glasses, but that's just not what they are. So that's what I have to say about them on the Vue glasses. I think they have a lot of potential and I've enjoyed using them. So I hope that helped. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see y'all on the next one.